Hello everyone, I am Yuti Doshi from Man Mantra Mental Health. I'm very happy and excited to announce a new segment on my page that is Theory Thursday. This segment will include theories, concepts, facts about psychology. And the reason I came up with this segment is because of the stigma that is still around mental health. And also, there are a lot of myths that are not broken yet. People still think that mental health experts can read minds. No, we cannot. Also, there are so many questions, about why certain people behave in a certain way, and certain people, for example, when person A is angry, he bursts out, and when person B is angry, he just keeps quiet. Why this difference? Why are there so many different kinds of behaviors, and why do some people why are some people so shy, why are some people so expressive? There are all these questions, and to answer those I'll try my best to come up with various concepts and explain them in as simple manner as I can. Today being the first episode of Theory Thursday, I want to start with a very important person in psychology. He is known as the father of psychology, Sigmund Freud. The theory that he came up with is known as the psychoanalytic theory. And the theory is huge and very deep to understand, but I will be taking a small part of it. And that part is known as the structure of personality. So according to Freud, the personality is not a single entity. It is divided into three parts: the id, the ego, and the superego. Give me a second, I'll be sharing the screen now. Okay. So the person you can see on the screen is Sigmund Freud, and today we are going to talk about the structure of personality. According to Freud, the personality is composed of three elements known as the id, the ego, and the superego. And these elements work together to create a complex human behavior. Starting with the first element, that is the id. It is present in us since birth, and it is the source of all the energy, the psychic energy, making it primary component of our personality. It includes instinctive and primitive behaviors, and it is driven by the pleasure principle, which means that the id strives to fulfill the desires, wants, and needs immediately. And if these needs are not satisfied immediately, the result is a state of anxiety or tension. For example, an increase in hunger or thirst should produce an immediate attempt to eat or drink. So we can see this in babies. When small babies who cannot talk are hungry, they cry until they are not fed. That is because they work on the id. So basically, id is the wishful and the selfish element of our parts. Coming to ego. The ego develops from the id and it ensures that the impulses of the id can be expressed in an acceptable manner in the real world. So it always wants to satisfy its needs, but in a socially acceptable manner. So that is why the ego is known to be working on the reality principle. It strives to satisfy its desires in a realistic way. So it weighs the costs and benefits of an action before deciding to act upon a particular impulse. And how does the ego do that? It does by the process of delayed gratification, where the ego will eventually allow the behavior, but only in the appropriate time and place. So Freud compared the id and ego to a horse and a rider, where id is a horse and ego is the horse rider, where horse always provides the motion and power, and rider tries to guide the direction of that power. The superego. According to Freud, superego begins to emerge at around age 5, and it works on the moral principle. So it holds the moral standards and ideals that we acquire from our parents and society during around this age. This is the age when we get a sense of what is right and what is wrong. So the superego always provides guidelines for making judgments. And it always tries to perfect and civilize our behavior. And the superego always wants to suppress the unacceptable urges of the id most of the time. So here you can see the topmost is the id, the next is the superego, and then is the ego. We can imagine a visual where a man, or when there is a man and there is a angel on one side and devil on one side, something like that, and our mind is the ego trying to balance between id and superego. So there is no clear distinction between these three. There are no boundaries, but they are always interacting. These three always interact with each other to influence a person's behavior. A small example of how id, ego, and superego work. Say, for example, you are in your office, you are in a conference meeting, and you are super hungry. So your id would tell you, I want to eat right now. I want to get up from here and have something to eat. Your superego might tell you, you can't have it right now. That's wrong. Your ego might try to balance between both and tell you, the meeting is going to get over in 10 minutes. Let's wait, and then I can eat as much as I want. That's what these three are. So basically, the ego has a lot of work to do, and it always tries to balance. But what if there is an imbalance? The key to a healthy personality is the balance between the id, ego, and superego. So if there is always a balance between these three, a healthy and a well-adjusted personality will emerge from a person. But if there is an imbalance, the person might be a maladaptive personality. For example, an individual with an overly dominant id might become impulsive, uncontrollable, or even criminal. And he or she would be such an individual who would act upon their most basic urges without being concerned about the people around or their behavior, or they might not think whether their behavior is appropriate or legal or acceptable. On the contrary, an overly dominant superego might lead a person that is extremely moralistic and judgmental. So a person who is ruled by the superego might not be able to accept anything or anyone that they perceive to be bad or immoral. So yes, maintaining a balance between the id and superego becomes a very tiring task for the ego. And in the process to do this, the ego sometimes goes through a lot of anxiety and tension. And to deal with that tension, we use defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are another topic altogether, and we might cover that next time. So yes, that was about the structure of a person's personality according to Sigmund Freud. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can please give your feedback in the comments section or DM me if you like the video. Also, I'm completely open to any kinds of discussions regarding this particular concept. Thank you for watching.